first are Sue Fulton. She was a member of the first West Point class to admit women. She's a leader of the effort to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Joining us also is Allison Jaslow, who's a former Army captain, now executive director of IAVA, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Thank you both for being with us tonight. I really appreciate you both being here.
Thank you
for having us.
Allison, let me start with you. Part of the reason I wanted to talk with you is that IAVA was the only major national veteran service organization that came out overtly and supported this change in policy last year when the Obama administration announced it. Was that a tough political fight for you guys? Was there backlash? Has there been difficulty for you as an organization and for the veterans that you represent since that change was made?
Listen, you know, this is something that a lot of people have different political opinions or personal opinions about, but I will tell you that a majority of our members say that this will not harm the military and unit cohesion. And so it's at a principle level easy for our organization to make sure that we are on the right side of what is going to be a policy that's going to make our forces stronger.
Or at least that was going to. It may be off the rails now. I mean,
well, we don't know.
Yes, Sue, do you understand? First, Sue, I mean, you're very well connected in these circles, I know. Did you have any idea this was coming? Did the Pentagon have any idea this was coming? Does anybody know what has just happened in terms of policy?
As near as we can tell, no one knew this was coming. As near as we can tell, no one in the Pentagon knew this was coming. And certainly our troops didn't know. So the question is, what does this mean? I mean, I talked to one of our infantry soldiers today, and who is worried, but whose commander pulled together the leadership and said, military policy isn't made by tweet, it's business as usual. And they've let that trans soldier know that she has their support.
That's happening on the
ground.
Wow.
At the unit level, we're hearing over and over from you know, the chain of command is outraged, and our folks are saying, I came in and they were like, we have your back. So there's sort of a, I mean, you know, troops are going to be very careful. They work for the commander-in-chief. But there is a sense that, wait, you know, we've now been serving for a year. We've got transgender folks. We've got commanders. We've got drill sergeants, pilots, submariners, special operators, doctors, Marines.
Serving openly.
Serving openly as transgender. And so you're going to pull them out of their unit. Their battle buddies, their commanders are going to say, this is going to have an impact on my ability to do the mission.
Has there ever, this for either of you, has there ever been a policy change? I should know this, but I can't think of anything. Has there ever been a policy change in the United States military where the commander-in-chief or somebody else in a command position ordered that a certain class of Americans was no longer eligible for military service and had to be excluded even though they were already serving in the military? Has that ever happened before?
This is actually unprecedented.
Yeah.
And you know what I think about is I think about when I was a platoon leader in Iraq. And, you know, you're not just thinking about the service member who transgender, who's on the ground, who's fighting ISIS right now, but think about all the other troops that platoon leader or that commander has to keep calm, has to keep focused. You know, the president talked about how you know, a policy like this could be disruptive. I think what's more disruptive is shoot from the hip tweeting and making policy decisions when our troops are on ground trying to fight in war. What they need to be doing is focusing on the mission, and they need to know that their commander-in-chief has their back.
Yeah, but we really are in it's sort of an implementation tabula rasa here. I mean, the military is a can-do organization. They take a, you know, I think back to the implementation of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And honestly, the Marine Corps was probably the branch of the service, branch of the armed services that was most resistant to that at the leadership level and even among the lower-ranking U.S. Marines. But when the command came down, that this was the new, that Don't Ask, Don't Tell was gone and people could serve openly, the Marine Corps was like more gung-ho than anybody else in terms of can-do. If this is the change in policy, we're the United States Marine Corps, we're going to get this done better than any other service.
They executed with excellence.
And so how do you execute this?
No one knows. There's not a plan, there's not a timeline, there's not a policy. They've already rolled out training, and in fact, folks have said, look, it's very good training. It's very matter of fact. You're moving a soldier from box A to box B, male to female, female to male, and driving on. So they've already incorporated this. So there's just, there's no way, no one knows exactly how does this roll out, because you've got to have a plan. Like you said, the military needs a plan.
Honestly, I mean, is the directive to go ferret out, to go hunt out service members who may be transgender and not serving openly? I mean, is that we don't? Well,
I think the fact that there are so many question marks is concerning.
Yeah. Sue Fulton, Allison Jaslow, thank you very much both for being here. This is an unusual discussion because we really don't know what's going to happen next. But stay in touch with us, and especially in terms of your members and people that you're in touch with in terms of how this is being received.